saying
Listen to me. You know what? You're a scumbag.
okay,
Okay,
still don't understand your
I will
gibberish.
tell you to your face. You are a
Still
deceitful scumbag. Is
now
there
answer the question.
something? Stop over talking me. And I'm going to call you out to your face because you are a
That's
scumbag.
great. You keep
Okay, I
repeating the
asked you the
same gibberish.
question. I asked you the question. You are a scumbag. Okay,
Could you mute him? Because I gotta
you are a scumbag. I will
answer,
ask the
please.
question
Mute
again.
him.
Okay, all you're
Mute
simply
Darth,
doing
please.
is
Mute
mute
Darth, please.
his microphone.
Mute
Mute
Darth,
this
please.
guy's microphone.
Mute him so I can
Mute
answer the
his
question.
microphone.
So yeah, I'll give a introduction.
Okay, you get started, and then Darth will follow up with his.
So as far as I know, Darth's position is that you can't justify logic, rationality, reason, etc., without appealing to a god. And I'm going to say yes, you can. And there's several ways to do that. In philosophy, the classical way is to start with I think, therefore I am, I exist. And then the fact that I exist, I'm a part of this reality thing. And reality is reality, so that gives us the law of identity. So we can just ground the law of logic purely based off of the fact I exist. And we know there's one reality, or at least one reality, or one of me. And so we can ground math off of the same thing. I think, therefore I am. So we can ground logic and math and rationality all purely just based off I think, therefore I am. We don't need any appeal to a god at all. And that does give us a connection to the fundamental nature of reality because, that is some connection to the fundamental nature of reality. But there's a second part is that if you think you need to appeal to the fundamental nature of reality to ground rationality, the atheist can just make up a kind of a god just like theists do. We could say it's grounded in naturalistic pantheism, which is just an eternal, all-powerful nature with no consciousness. So it's essentially just the God without the mind, and we can say there's just a law of nature that gives us rationality, and it's just the awesomeness law, and it's the greatest possible imaginable awesomeness law or whatever, and we can just make up a equivalent to the God hypothesis just under naturalism. And so we can ground logic and rationality purely based off of I think, therefore I am, or we can ground it off of just the fact that nature exists or some law of nature. Either one of those gives us a better ground than theism. And the theism one doesn't work because it's essentially just an assertion that God has a nature that would give us correct rationality. And it could just be the case that he wouldn't. He would just give us irrationality. It could be an evil God, essentially. And so simply just defining God as a being that would give us the correct kind of rationality, but we can just do the same thing and just say nature has a law that is just by definition the law that would give us a kind of rationality. So any justification used in presuppositionalism can be matched equally under atheism. And the reason we don't do that is because that methodology doesn't work. The real way to ground rationality is just based off I think, therefore I am. And that'll conclude my opening.
Go ahead, Darth.
When you say I think, therefore I am, are you making a statement of fact?
Yes.
Okay, what is the context in which that fact exists?
Reality, I think. Could you clarify?
What's that? What is that?
The stuff that exists? Not sure what you mean.
What is the context within which I think exists? What is it? You said reality. What is that? Excuse me.
I could then go with the naturalistic pantheism. It's just like eternal, all-powerful nature, matter and energy and motion.
No, listen, dude. I've listened to enough of your debates. I find it really
Well, I'm trying
pathetic
to answer your
that you
question. I'm
keep
not
on
sure what you
offering.
mean.
Please do not overtalk me. Okay.
Okay. Are you there? I can't hear you.
Go ahead, Tjump.
Well, no, I wanted to hear what Darth had to say. Is he still there? Did he stop talking?
Yeah.
Right,
Why was I muted?
So yeah, I was just trying to understand what Darth's position
Why was I muted?
I was confused. All right, there's people that were talking. I didn't know what was going on.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I was speaking and then I got muted.
I apologize. I apologize for that. Go ahead, Darth. What were you saying?
I've heard you make up stuff all the time. It could be this, it could be this, that, whatever. I'm not really interested in your fantasies. I want to know what the ontological context of I thinking is as a fact. Do you
mean by
believe that
context?
fact? I'll explain it to you. Do you believe that a fact can be invoked as actual and intelligible without context?
I'm not sure what that means. So when I say a fact is something that is true because it corresponds to reality. I don't know what you mean by context.
Okay. Okay. In order for something to be a fact, does it require ontological context?
You mean correspond to reality? Because I would say yes. Is that what you mean by context?
No, I'm just saying context. Okay. Is there
I
a
don't know what you mean.
context? Is there a context in which a fact exists? Or is there no context that the fact that you're invoking is existing?
I don't know what that means. So I would say that a fact is true if it corresponds to reality. So I would say
Okay.
context.
You're not addressing my question. Okay.
I don't know how to. I don't know what you
Does
mean.
a fact you don't know what context means?
Not. I don't think so. Can you explain it to me? Like, because when I say context, I
Really?
mean
Do me a favor, don't play dumb.
I'm not playing
Okay.
dumb. I literally do not know what you mean by
Yeah, well,
context here.
context means the ontological framework from which a fact exists in. Okay? Now, can you invoke the actuality and intelligibility of any given fact without context, or does the actuality and intelligibility of fact require context?
I'm still trying to understand what you mean. So it seems to me that what you're saying is, does a fact need to correspond to a reality to be
It's
true? And I
not
would
what I
say,
said. It's not what I said.
I know
I,
I'm trying to phrase it in
does
a
a
way that
fact require, can we invoke the actuality and intelligibility of a fact without context? Or does the actuality and intelligibility of a fact require that there be a metaphysical or ontological context or framework?
does there need to be a fundamental nature of reality for the fact to correspond to? Yes, and I would call that context.
Okay. What is the context within the fact of I think exists within?
Whatever reality is, like it doesn't tell us. It doesn't need to.
What
Like for example,
I'm what is that? What is that?
it doesn't tell us. Like for example, I think therefore I am. My mind could be purely physical.
No,
It could be.
I want to
Wait.
know.
I'm
I
answering. I'm
want
answering.
to
I'm answering.
know. I want
Answering.
to know what I
Answer.
want to know. Yeah, you keep on repeating yourself. I want to know
I'm not repeating.
specifically and clearly what the context is.
Yes. Let me answer. Okay. So you don't need to answer that question. It could be lots of different things. So
No,
it
you do
could
need
be.
to answer the
Wait.
question.
I will. So this is just context. I'm just giving context here. So if I think therefore I am, I could be in an idealistic universe where consciousness is fundamental. That could be a fundamental thing.
I'm not asking you to speculate.
This is just me giving context. I'm going to answer your question. Give you like 2 minutes. Oh, I think therefore I am doesn't tell us whether or not the universe is purely idealistic and just consciousness, or if it's dualistic in both material and consciousness, or just materialistic and just physical. Any of those are possibilities. It doesn't matter which one of those.
I don't
I'm
need
almost
a
done.
lecture.
So Darth, it could be any of those. And I think therefore I am doesn't care. No matter what is the case, it's still going to be true. I don't need to know what the fundamental nature of reality is for I think therefore I am to be an accurate description of reality. I don't need to know if it's idealistic. I don't need to know if it's naturalistic. I don't need to know if it's dualistic. It doesn't make a difference. I can still ground rationality regardless of what the ontological nature of reality is. It makes no difference.
Yeah, mute me again, and that'll be the end of the conversation. Okay. Now, I want to know the context that provides metaphysically for the fact in question and its intelligibility. What is it?
Right. Were you listening when I just said that? So I don't actually need to know that. I can say whatever it is.
I didn't ask you whether you need to know it. I want to know, okay, when you invoke a fact is only going to exist ultimately within the ultimate context that it's derived from. A fact cannot exist ontologically from different models of reality because there's only one model of reality that is true. I want to know what the ultimate context ontologically is that instantiates both the fact of I think and its intelligibility. What is it?
Remember, it could be many different things, and they
I
were
didn't
all
ask
still
you
be
that.
true. No, I think you did. So I'm trying to
No,
let me try to
I want
answer.
to know what it is.
I'm trying to answer, Darth. I'm really trying to answer here. So I could just say it's naturalistic pantheism. It's just matter and energy and motion, and that's it. I can say that. That is fine. But
I
again, the
want
correct
to
answer,
know what is
matter and
the
energy and motion, that's
ultimate.
it.
I
Matter,
want
energy,
to
motion.
know. I want
Matter,
to
energy, motion.
know. I don't want you to tell me what it could be, might
It is. I'm
be,
saying it is
speculate.
matter and energy and motion. That's what it
Are
is.
you okay? You're asserting that I think is in a realm of matter and energy.
Yes.
Is that what is ultimate?
Yes. Matter and energy and motion.
Okay. Now, so that's in the context of an array of particulars of matter and energy. Okay.
Yes.
Now, are you aware of the fact that you cannot have a plurality that are ultimate? You can only have something that is singular that is
Based on
ultimate.
which law of physics? Like I know of no law of physics.
No,
that would
I'm not discussing physics right now. Okay, I'm discussing metaphysics. Now,
based on which law of metaphysics?
okay, listen, I'm talking about, I didn't say a law of metaphysics. I said metaphysics. Now,
Right.
now, if
I'm
you
asking
have
you.
two or more entities, okay, are they that provide for the context of I think? Are each of them in and of themselves ultimate?
I don't know what that means. Like,
Any of the
so
particulars that you claim that I think exist in your atheistic outlook, are each of the particulars ultimate?
yes, I'd say like if we
Okay,
assume the
that's
brain
it.
is
That's incoherent. Okay, I'm going to explain
what
to you
is
why. No, it is
support.
completely incoherent to have two or more a plurality. Okay, because if we have two things and you claim they're ultimate, then they would exist independently each other. There is no grand ultimate unifier that institutes and secures them. So they would simply exist independent of each other. All right, and so
I have no
therefore,
idea what you mean.
if we have two or more particulars in your grand scheme of things,
So could you
are
use an example?
are these things brute facts? They just simply exist.
Yeah, essentially. So like if we have
Good.
two
Then
particles,
if they're brute facts, okay, then if your array of particulars are brute facts, then they're not ultimate. Chance would be ultimate then.
no chance would just be
Brute
just
facts
no.
Brute facts, by definition, are facts that simply are without any identifiable explanation whatsoever. They just are. They just happen to be.
Yeah,
So
identifiable. Remember?
so then by definition, they would not be ultimate. So
No. Wait, 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 wait.
do you believe,
Go back, go back.
do
What is
you,
your definition of ultimate there?
shut up.
Wait,
You're
you
you're
said
such
brute
a
facts
motor
can't be
mouth.
ultimate.
Listen to me.
I'm trying to ask
Like
for
that
clarification. I want to
Okay.
know.
Yeah,
I wanna
you're
understand.
getting very irritating now.
Yeah. All right,
Now,
finish up your
you
question, Darth, and then we'll let him respond.
you have an array of particulars, right? You said each one of those particulars that exist in your abstract concept of reality, each of them in and of them by themselves, they are ultimate. But
No, no.
they couldn't be each individually ultimate, because there are other things that exist independently of each other. Ultimate means it would be the ground of all existence.
Right?
Okay?
Yes.
Ultimate just doesn't mean something exists. Okay? It means that it exists
No.
and it is the ground of all existence. Okay? That's how I'm using the term.
So I'm
Now,
using the term differently. I'm using the term
well,
ultimate to mean
then what you're doing is you're equivocating on my use of the word.
I didn't know what your use of the term was.
Okay,
So
yeah, ultimate means
so
that there is something, okay, that is absolute, it's eternal, and it is the basis, excuse me, ground of all being.
I can just
Now,
reject your definition. I can say that the
okay,
ultimate nature of reality as metaphysics could just be the quality of what
listen to me. Things are
doesn't
not going to go well if you keep on just throwing out what you're fantasizing. I want to know concretely what you believe about the nature of reality, not what you could just sit there and fantasize and verbalize. Now,
okay, so
I
so
want
I'm
to know, is there something that is singular, that is the ground of all existence, that institutes and secures all possibility and impossibility.
Oh, that's a made-up definition that doesn't respect anything in reality. I don't need
I'll
that.
ask the question again. Is there something that is
Said no.
singularly ultimate
Said no, that's
that
false. That's a false
institutes
definition.
all? Okay. Listen to me. You are one irritating person. Is there
Didn't I just answer your
something?
question?
Mute his microphone. Is there something that is singularly eternal, absolute, non-dependent that institutes all possibility and impossibility in your view?
No, that is not a thing we need for reality. That is a made-up definition.
Okay. I didn't give you a definition. I asked you if such a state of affairs exists. I'll try it again. Is
So
there
I started
something that
with no.
Stop over talking me.
Started with no.
Is there stop over talking me? Is there something that is singularly absolute, unconditionally non-dependent, eternal without beginning, and is the beginning point and the ground and that which institutes and secures all possibility?
No, you do not need that.
Okay. So in other words, there is nothing that institutes what's possible and impossible then.
You need a singular thing. That's a made-up criterion that doesn't require. That's not required in physics or metaphysics.
Okay. I'm not discussing physics here. So you are saying that there is nothing singular. So is there a plurality of independent and unrelated particulars that institute what's possible and impossible?
Depends on how you define related. So I'd say matter and energy is fundamental, and
I'm
then
not discussing simply matter and energy. I'm saying you have just conceded that there is nothing that is singular, the ground of all existence, instituting all possibility and impossibility. So is there a plurality of unrelated and unconnected particulars that institute possibility?
if you would define matter and energy in that way, then I would say yes.
Okay, and how do you know that?
Because I think, therefore I am, and I exist.
That is one of the dumbest things I have ever heard an atheist debater ever say.
Okay, let me go into more detail there. So I think, therefore I am is how I ground rationality, and then I can
No, stop.
Let me answer your question. You've been talking for like 5 minutes.
Stop.
You've been talking for 5 minutes.
You telling me about your
I'm gonna ask you to mute
consciousness.
you if you don't give me a chance to
No,
talk. You gotta let me get a chance to talk.
telling me about your. You see, our first conversation
You asked
went
how
very
I know.
badly.
I need to tell you how I know, right?
I don't need you to give me a community college lecture about I think, therefore I am. I want you to know by what means was your mind able to determine that there is a plurality of things that are instituting possibility.
Can I answer now?
Okay, yeah. And please don't give me a lecture about I think, therefore I am.
I'm not giving you a lecture. So I start with I think, therefore I am. That's how I ground.
I've already heard that.
No. Yes, I know you have. I'm going to the next parts now. You gotta let me finish. I start with I think, therefore I am, and that's how I ground rationality and logic. And then I can see there's some difference between my imagination and my experience. When I imagine a unicorn, I don't see one. There's some difference between those two things. We need some methodology to differentiate between those two things. And for lots of reasons, we go to science, future predictions, that gives us a way to differentiate the imaginary things from things. And future testable predictions gives us science and particles and matter and computers and all these things. And we can determine those exist through the methodology of science, which can differentiate between imagination and experience. That's how we get to.
You're not addressing my question. You have nothing you said. Nothing you said addressed my question.
Okay, how so?
No, it didn't address my question.
How so?
How are you able to determine that there is a plurality of unconnected, unrelated things that institute possibility and impossibility versus something that is singular? How are you able to determine
I didn't
that?
say singular was impossible. I said it wasn't required. It could be a plurality. It could be singular.
So you do not know what ultimately institutes what's possible and impossibility then. Is that your position?
The correct position is yes. We do not know what the fundamental nature of reality is, but I can assert.
Okay, so you do. Okay, so in other words, since you have no identifiable source of that which institutes possibility and impossible, is that correct? That you do not have any identifiable, attestable source of what institutes and secures possibility and impossibility?
Not everything about it, but I do have one thing. I think, therefore I am. So I do have
No,
some
no, no.
ground.
Stop. Listen to me. I'm going to barf if I hear that again. Okay. I'm not interested in you saying you're reading me your little script that you give to people all the time. Do you know what institutes at all, if any, possibility and impossibility?
Equally as much as you do, yes.
What is it that ultimately institutes all possibility and impossibility? Is it
Matter and
singular or is
energy.
it a plurality? Is it
Reality.
is it how do you know that it's a plurality as opposed to it is something that's singular?
You have a methodology to differentiate between imagination and reality.
That's gobbledygook what you just said.
So
We have a methodology. That's gobbledygook. How are you able to ascertain that which ultimately institutes possibility impossibility is a plurality of unconnected and unrelated particulars versus something that is singular? How are you able to determine that?
because we have a methodology to differentiate between different
That's the same
possibilities.
gobbledygook you answered 60 seconds
You
ago.
didn't explain how that wasn't an answer.
That is why I'm repeating the same question again. When you
But
say
you
we have a
explained
methodology, you're not addressing the question. Now I'm going to
no,
ask
how
it
it's not addressing
again.
the question.
Shut up.
How is that
Shut
not
up.
addressing the question?
Shut up. And I'm going to ask the question again for the third time. How are you able to specifically, I don't want a generalization, okay? I don't want ambiguity. I want a clear and precise answer how you were able to determine that there is a series of particulars that are unrelated and unconnected that institute possibility over versus something that would be singularly ultimate. How were you able to determine that? I want specificity.
Science science makes testable predictions. We can differentiate that there are multiple particles. Is that like what you're looking for?
I'm waiting for an answer.
Science can show us there are particles that exist in energy and matter.
Science?
Yes.
Are you referring to laws of nature?
Uh, Science is a methodology to understand the laws of nature. I don't
Okay.
believe.
Is there something that institutes and secures that there are indeed laws of nature?
I don't know what you mean.
Do laws of nature exist?
Yes.
Okay. What is it that institutes and secures that there are actual laws?
They're a part of reality. I mean,
What is that?
nature. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you're asking.
What is it that institutes and secures that there are any laws at all?
Laws are just descriptions of the nature of reality.
Are there laws of nature?
Yes.
Okay. Is there something that institutes and secures that continuity?
I don't know what you mean. So a law is a description of how nature
Okay.
operates. A law isn't.
Are laws actual universals?
I don't think so. Laws are descriptions of the way nature is. Laws aren't like things that exist
Oh, so they're
independently.
not laws. It just happens to be that way.
Uh, they're descriptions of the nature of
Are the things that
reality.
happens, are they governed by laws or things just happen to be that way and that they can change at any time?
Brute facts. They can't change any time. They can't be not themselves.
I'm talking about laws, regularities. Is there
They,
something that institutes and secures that there are indeed universals that we call laws of nature?
for their nature secures them.
Oh, okay. So these laws they're simply are they eternal?
Some of them yes, some of them no.
How do you know which one is eternal?
Because of them entail that it exists in reality, and some of them can change, like gravity. Just
How do you
anything.
how do you know that these are listen, dude, do you think I'm stupid? You're giving
Don't
you're
know.
giving listen to me. You're giving me rhetoric. You're not fooling me. You're
I
not
have no idea.
fooling the audience. I want to know what particular law do you have in mind that is eternal without beginning and is non-derivational? What would
Reality is
that
reality.
be? That's not that reality is an abstraction. Now,
Reality is
I want
everything that
to
exists.
know.
It's literally not an abstraction.
So all of the particulars that exist, each in and of themselves, are eternal.
No, reality is the eternal thing. It's the
Okay, reality. Listen to me. Aren't you embarrassed right now? You're giving me. Listen to me. Well, you should be. You are giving me gobbledygook. Reality is reality. Is reality? Is that a something?
The law of
that
identity.
Okay, listen to me. Is reality something that is concrete or an abstraction?
Concrete.
Good. Is that reality that you say is a concrete? Is it a concrete one or a concrete many?
Me.
What?
Many.
Okay. So in other words, there is a innumerable number of particulars that simply exist, and there's nothing singularly that unifies them. Is there?
You don't. Well,
Is there
I
anything?
mean, like they're all a part of
Is there
reality.
any? Since you reject that God is the creator and the grand unifier, is there something that singularly imposes unity among the diversity of these eternal particulars?
They're all a part of reality. Like all related in that way.
No, reality now is an abstraction. It's an abstraction of a mental set of unconnected, unrelated particulars. Okay? So reality is not a concrete one, it's a concrete many. So when you say reality and as a one, that's an abstraction. Okay? So you're talking
reality isn't a
you're talking about a set of particulars. Now, is there anything at all that ultimately institutes and imposes unity among all the different particulars?
By unity, do you mean is there a reason they all follow the same patterns? Is that what you're asking?
Is there something that imposes any kind of unity among the diversity of particulars?
I'm trying to understand what that means. Are you asking why do they all follow the same
Do you know what
patterns?
unity means? If I show you
Unity means like a connection.
there's something that unifies them from the top down. Is there something that is ultimate that imposes and institutes and secures any unity among the particulars?
Are you like asking for a property they share or something? I'm still not sure.
Is there something that unifies them from the top down, that institutes and secures?
All a part of reality? Like,
for somebody who does a bazillion YouTube videos, who debates and argues all the time, you're not sounding too smart right now.
Not so sure about that.
And it's amazing how I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean.
Yes.
Now, I want to know, is there unity among the diversity of particulars in existence, these particulars that are eternal? Is there any actual ontological unity, not an abstract unity? I'm talking about a concrete unity.
I'm not sure what that means because that combination of words is
You
not
don't
used.
know
Let me clarify.
unity among diversity. Listen to me. If I have two identical twins, okay, we have unity among diversity. We have an ontological unity because they're sisters. Okay, they share a common DNA that is imposed by something from the top down. Now, I want to know, in your conception, in your God-free world, see what I'm driving at is you want to believe that you can have intelligibility for the world around you with this array of particulars. Okay, and the purpose of my questioning to you is that it is impossible for you to do so, and so far you've been unable to answer the question. You keep on
understand.
Of course, yeah, I don't. Yeah, you're playing dumb.
So I think I understand. Like I understand your twin analogy.
Something? Shut up. Is there something?
Yeah. So
ultimately and concretely imposes unity among the diversity of particulars.
Using your twin analogy, in the same way the twins are the same because they share DNA, the same.
You are dodging the question.
I'm literally answering the question. So you said The twins are the same because they share DNA. The same thing is true of the particulars. The
That's
particulars
an
are the same because
analogy.
they
No,
share.
I want to know.
Your analogy.
Okay.
They
No,
share the same properties because they're all made of energy.
listen to me.
Yes.
What is it that concretely imposes the unity among the diversity? If we have an array of unconnected, unrelated particulars, each of these particulars in your scheme without God, okay, each of these particulars simply exist in and of themselves, correct?
Yes.
Good. So they're eternal. They're absolute. Now, if we have two or more particulars that are eternal, is there something that ultimately and ontologically imposes unity among the diversity? Not abstractly, I mean concretely.
Sure what that means because no one in philosophy uses those terms. That's just like
Okay.
gobbledygook to me. So
Okay.
they all exist. They all share that property. They all exist. They're all a part of reality. So in that sense, yes.
You are one of the worst people I've ever talked to. Okay?
Okay.
You are a very deceptive and deceitful person. I will ask the question again, and this is why I get pissed talking with you, because you are an incredibly evasive person. And then you want to go, "Oh, I don't hear anyone talking about the philosophy." I'm talking to you right now. Is there something that concretely is ultimate, that imposes concrete unity among all of the independent particulars that are each eternal?
Again, those phrases are not used in philosophy, so I don't know
That's
what that
the
means.
second time you've said that. I ignored your gobbledygook response.
No,
That is
so I
not
don't
an answer.
understand you.
That is not an answer to my question. That was a
Don't understand your
deceptive.
question.
Okay, stop over talking me. That was a deceptive response on your part, trying to bamboozle me and bamboozle the audience. Now,
No.
is there something that is concrete that imposes unity concretely among the unconnected particulars?
That's gibberish. It doesn't mean anything.
No,
I don't
that's
know
a
what your question
question.
is.
That's a question.
It's gibberish.
Is there
Like,
something?
literally, those words don't mean anything.
So there is nothing that imposes ontological unity among
Don't
the
know what that
part.
gibberish means. You keep saying that
Okay.
gibberish as if I
It's
can
not.
understand
It's
it. I
not.
can't
It's not
understand that gibberish.
gibberish. It's not gibberish. Is there something that imposes unity
Gibberish. You
upon the
keep repeating the same gibberish.
Listen to me, dude.
Can't
I'm really.
understand it even you say.
Listen to me. You know what? You're a scumbag. Okay.
Still don't understand your gibberish.
I'll tell you to your face. You are a deceitful scumbag.
Now,
Is there
answer the question.
something? Stop over talking me. And I'm going to call you out to your face because you are a scumbag.
That's great. You
Okay?
keep repeating the same gibberish.
I asked you the question. You are a scumbag. Okay.
Did you mute him? Because I got to.
You are a scumbag. I will
Please.
ask the question again.
Mute him.
Okay. All you're simply
Darth,
doing
please.
is
Darth,
mute
please.
his microphone. Mute
Darth,
this guy's microphone.
Mute him so I can
Mute
answer the
his
question.
microphone.
All
Now,
right, cool.
I
You
asked
guys
you a
can hear me?
question. I asked you a question. Is there something ontologically, okay, that imposes actual unity, okay, not abstractly, but is there something that ontologically imposes unity among all of the separate particulars? Do you have an answer to that?
Again, to answer your stupid question, is there something that connects them all? Yes, they all exist in reality. That is the
No,
connection.
you're not. You are saying that the unity is abstract. I'm not asking you if there's an abstract unity. I'm asking you, is there something that concretely imposes unity among the
It
diversity?
exists. That is not abstract. That is a concrete thing. They exist.
Do you know the difference between? Do you understand the difference between a concrete unity versus an abstract unity?
I have no idea what you mean by unity. You're just making shit up. Versus incoherent.
Okay. All right. You know what? We're done. Okay.
Then
Listen. No, we're done. Listen to me. Listen to me. You are a scumbag. You are a deceitful scumbag. Listen to me. You are a deceitful scumbag. I am asking you legitimate questions.
Answered.
Right?
Legitimate.
Okay. Listen to me. Listen to me. You are a lying scumbag. Okay, I'm
Well,
going to
answer
call you
legitimately.
out. This is going to
With a
go
literal
up to
answer.
YouTube. You are a fast talker. I am asking you legitimate philosophical
I
questions, and
answered legitimate
because
philosophical answers.
so either there is something that imposes unity among the diverse particulars, or
Gibberish.
there is something
All
that does
exist.
not. What
All
is
exist.
what is it that imposes the unity?
They exist. They're a part of reality. That's the thing.
That's an abstract
But it's
unity.
not.
So there is the unity abstract or concrete?
Unity is a word your gibberish made up. I don't know what you mean by
Okay, you
unity.
know what? We're done. We're done. You cannot have a conversation with you. You are a deceitful person. Is the unity abstract? Is it where you abstract with your mind, you perform a set, or is the unity concrete?
Concrete, yes.
Good. What is it that imposes the concrete unity among the diverse particulars?
Exist. That's concrete. Existence is concrete.
No, you're not understanding. All you're simply doing is you have an abstract set of particulars. Particular 1, particular 2, particular 3, they exist, okay? They're a part of a conceptual set. Now, is there something as opposed to an abstract set? Is there something that concretely joins them together other than they're a part of a mental abstract set?
Can't be abstract. That's why they're particulars. They're concrete things.
Listen to me, dude. Do you ever get tired in being deceitful?
Being deceitful. Giving an honest
You
answer.
are being deceitful. I'm asking you a legitimate question. You are being argumentative. You are being evasive here. Now, I want to know, and this is why I call you out as a scumbag. All right? Now, you are deliberately using your ability to be verbose to dodge the question. If we have 2 or more particulars, other than they happen to exist, okay? We got particular 1, particular 2, and you have an abstract set, okay? Other than them being within your abstract set in your mind forms a set. We say we have particular 1, particular 2. What is it that concretely unifies them as opposed to you joining them together in a mental set? What is it?
Existence. Existence is a set.
Existence is not existence. Existence. Look, suppose we have 2 particulars and that's all that exists, or 3 particulars. Okay. We got particular 1, particular 2, particular 3. Now,
you asking what they're made of?
Is what unifies them, okay? What unifies them? Is it a concrete unity or an abstract unity?
Are you asking what makes them, like, what they're ontologically
made of? Is it a concrete unity or an abstract unity?
I don't know what that means. Are you asking what they're made of?
Is it an abstract unity? I'm asking you. If we have 3 extant particulars,
okay,
okay, explain to me what is it that concretely joins them together?
All made of energy. Matter and energy and motion. They're all energy.
You're not understanding, okay? Because energy is a class, okay? Now, you're not understanding. So what is it that the one particular shares the same attributes? What institutes that these attributes are the same?
Made of energy?
Well, you're just simply giving me as a name. What is it that imposes that they're the same concretely?
They're made of the same thing called energy.
What secures that they're not cosmic doppelgangers?
You mean?
Do you know what a doppelganger is?
Something that looks exactly like something else, but isn't the same.
Well, you could see somebody could say, "Oh, those are identical twins." That they have some aspect of concrete unity among their unity. They share the same DNA. They share the same properties and attributes to a certain extent. You are saying that the 3 particulars in this example share the same properties and attributes. Okay? Now, the fact that they share the same attributes, they're sharing the same attributes, are they cosmic doppelgangers or not?
No, they all share the same attributes.
What imposes that the attributes are not doppelgangers?
Because if they were doppelgangers, they couldn't exist separately as particulars.
Oh my God, that is just total bullshit. What you just said. It's
What?
don't you
No, it's
listen,
not.
dude? You are one of the biggest bullshitters I have ever watched. Is there something? Listen to me. Listen to me carefully. If I show you a picture, of two female doppelgangers, if I show you, listen to me. Shut up and listen. If I show you a picture of two doppelgangers, okay, their superficial appearance, okay, their properties and attributes, you might think that there's a concrete unity, right, because of their superficial appearance, their properties and attributes, how they appear to you, how you interpret them. But people who think that those are sisters, that they share the same properties and attributes, they're in the same class, they don't exist in a class of sisters.
Yes,
so that's why we call them doppelgangers. Now, if the particulars have the same properties and attributes, are they cosmic doppelgangers?
Well, they're not. They have different properties.
Then no, I understand. I'm talking about the properties and attributes that they have in common. Now,
understand what you're saying.
What imposes the same properties and what imposes from the top down that they're in the same class, or if there is nothing that imposes them, stop over talking me. I've just about had it with you. This is why you see. Listen to me. This is why I didn't want to talk with you again, because you're such a horse's ass.
Stop asking. Let me answer.
Are the properties and attributes?
So I can answer
the properties and attributes. I'm trying to listen. If you don't shut up, that's it. We're going to be done.
Please be done.
Now, are the properties and attributes? Okay, we're done. We're
leave. Okay, thank you.
Applause. This guy is a total horse's ass. Okay, we're done. We're done.
I can answer his question. All right, so stupid dumbass question was what is it that unifies the particular properties? It all exists. Like, they can't all share the same properties, because if they did, that would violate Leibniz's law of identity. If it has all the same properties, it's not the same thing. Or it is, if it has all the same properties, it is the exact same thing. The fact that they're different in different places in space and time, that means they don't share properties, but they are in the same realm of existence, because they're in different spaces and times. They have a relation of a physical reality. There are particulars that do exist concretely, which is, again, the consensus in physics and philosophy and every academic field. And Darth Dawkins has no idea what the hell he's saying, which you can tell from all the crap he says about unity and this gibberish nonsense he's made up that means nothing. Clearly, the best evidence for reality is it's probably just physical, matter and motion, and that's it. Could it be idealistic? Yes, it's possible. Could it be dualistic? Yes, but you don't need any of that to know rationality. You can just base rationality off of I think, therefore I am, and that's what you need. You can grind logic and math off of that, and then you can discover about reality. You do not actually need to know what the fundamental nature of reality is, ground rationality. Thank you, and good night.